guys, I fucked up. So I was having some under extrusion issues, some clogging issues, some not so pretty carriages issues and other parts. And I finally snapped, and I bought a Titan extruder. So I'm going direct drive. This is happening, but I said, well, I got to make up some parts for it, so made this. This actually didn't come out all that bad. Um, that came out a little funky in there. And back there, a couple of pieces that aren't the prettiest, but with the bracket. Then I decided to clear out my waves up here, and that's when I realized that I fucked up. This guy right here is one of the two nuts that hold the two bolts, that hold the two springs that push the idler bearing against the filament to hold it against the hot bolt. And this one's stripped. So it wasn't giving the proper tension against the filament. I got that taken care of now. I've replaced it. Luckily I have plenty of spares. And now I'm getting some pretty fucking nice layers. I'm not going to be able to see it anyway. Yeah, the webcam mount kind of sucks and it's pretty far away. I don't think I can zoom in a little bit. But kind of pissed at myself for ruining so many prints. Only to find out later on that it was just stupid 6-cent nut. But oh well, shit happens. But it still boils down to this. There's a limit on how fast you can print with a Bowden. And it's funny. I guess it's the whole double-edged sword catch-22 argument. Basically, it comes down to this. All right. Yes, this will be lighter. You can throw it around faster. But if you have flexible filaments, which this is Tallman T-Glaze over here, it's pretty flexible. It's not incredibly, insanely flexible, but it's pretty flexible as compared to like PLA. PLA is pretty stiff. If you just stick with like a PLA, then you probably never really have a problem with it, and you can probably get some pretty fast print speeds out of it. If this tube was shorter, you could go even faster, but the DP5 is huge. So to make it all the way down to be that far away from the hot end, if you have any flex in your filament, you're going to risk kinking it through the pipe, because this is 2 millimeter inside diameter. The filament's 1.75. It has a little room to move around. It also creates a lot of resistance going all the way through there. It doesn't seem like a lot when you're pushing it on it by hand, but you start getting up there in speeds and stuff. There's extra resistance there. So there's a limit on how fast you can go with the nylon. You have to go pretty slow with nylon with this. I have a piece here. This is the nylon. This is Tallman bridge nylon. There we go. I can't think. It's late. I'm tired. Look at this stuff. I take it. And I can, if I could tie a knot in front of the camera. I mean, this stuff is very flexible. Alright, it's not as flexible as like Ninja Flex or anything like that. Maybe it's on ground with semi-flex, but it's still pretty flexible. So pushing this wobbly, all the way through that pipe, there's a limit on how fast I can print it. And that's a problem. I actually max out at about 30 millimeters a second, maybe 25. If I had direct drive, I could probably hit 40 without worrying about it. Again, I have to get it and try it out. But that's becoming an issue because I print a lot of functional stuff. Um, and I love nylon. Nylon is an awesome, super tough filament. So I need that to work, and I need it to work reliably, flawlessly, none of this under extrusion bull crap, no issues, fast, perfect. And right now the trade-off for me is either have a super light extruder I can throw around, but only be able to throw it around at any decent speeds with PLA, or have a heavier body that I'm not going to be able to throw around as fast, but it'll be able to feed nylon better, more accurate, and faster than the Bowden. And right now that's the direction I'm taking. So I'm not regretting the purchase. I'm not going back on it. The Titan's a great system. I could have went with the Aero. I didn't go with the Aero. That's their new one that makes this whole body like incredibly short. But it's like a $45 upgrade to the existing one, or I buy the whole kit for $110 outright. So I already have the E3D V6 hot end. I'll go with the, just a regular Titan. If I want to make the upgrade later, I'll make the upgrade later. Not really a big deal, and I know the Titan will work fine. So I'm going to do that. That's my next project. Printed out this is the mounting bracket for it. This will go on my carriage here, which is just a Prusa i3 carriage. I don't have any modifications to this one. I had a side bracket. It's on my Thingiverse that cut off of the sensor that came with the DP5. But I changed that up because I have the BL Touch on there now. It's that big orange glowing thing that you can't stop staring at. So I have that carriage. This guy will bolt up to it. The BL Touch is going to mount right here. And this is going to be oriented this way. So a tiny pancake NEMA 17 is going here. The Titan extruder is going to go here. The BL Touch will be back here, and my extruder will be right about here. So that's going to actually be cool because I want to get these in line here so that if I lose any build volume this way, I'm going to take these clips and I'm going to put them over here so that I'm still using my lost build volume for something, even if it's just where a pancake motor is hanging out over here. So just trying to make the most efficient use of my build space, really. I kind of want to hear an idea, if anybody ever listened to an 8-minute video, an idea of a better way to mount this glass to the heated bed. I haven't thought of anything cool yet. I was thinking about gluing it, but I don't know, glue's just so permanent. The clips work great, but I lose 40 millimeters of build volume with them because, well, it's a lot to do with this carriage because there's a fan mounted on the back there. That's a little black piece you see sticking out down there, right here. It can only go so far forward or so far back before it hits the clips. So anybody has any cool ideas? I saw some Thingiverse ones that clip the glass down into the corners. They didn't really look all that great to me. And then there's the whole like, okay, well yeah, you gotta stick the bolt through and have the clip on top, and I don't know. Maybe that's the way I'll have to go. Then I'll just have to figure out how to actually still not lose a lot of build space either, because now I'm cutting into both corners. So I'll be having a smaller square inside of there. I don't know. Any thoughts? I'll listen. I also ordered a new aluminum carriage for here. It's a generic one. I ordered off of Maker Farm. It was like 18 bucks. I don't know if it's going to work. I don't know if the holes are going to line up. That's not a big deal though, because I'll unbolt this carriage. And I got drill bits specifically for drilling plastic. These are cheap. like ridiculously cheap, and they'll cut through aluminum. I'll drill new, lay this one on top of it, bolt it in because it says it takes the same uh, same heated bed. Bolt it on there and drill through the holes, put the holes in the right spot. We'll see. I'll keep everybody informed on that because I get a little bit of movement after a while because I'm at 70 degrees right now. 70 C. I got my little cardboard insulator in there, stuff to warp in, but I need to run my bed leveling every couple of days. It moves around a little bit, so that'll be an upgrade I'm doing too. And then after I get that stuff done and the new one mounted, I'm redoing all of these. This is going to change to 27 millimeter spacing. This is at about 17 now, but it's the staggered MIG-BOT style. They're going to be the inline Prusa i3 style, and it's going to be 27 millimeters over there because if you remember, I have the giant anti-backlash nuts there that I'm going to be putting on with the 1 millimeter pitch lead screws, 2 millimeter instead of these 8s. I'm going high resolution on everything from here on out. If I put on the Titan and everything and I start to get any motor skip in or I'm not happy with how fast I can print, I'm going to change my X-axis motor here. And when I do that, I'm going to go bigger, obviously, and I'm going to go with a 0.9 millimeter step degree angle. So I'll get that done. If the aluminum plate starts being a bastard to throw around because it's heavier, 0.9 degree and bigger. These are 39 or 40 millimeter stepper motors now. I'll go with a 48. I have the space on either side, and that'll increase. It'll go up to maybe 60 Newton centimeters or whatever the fuck they call it. There's my update. I'm tired, guys. You have a great night.